Hello students, welcome back. Now we are leading towards the end of this chapter. I hope you have practiced the derivation of equations of motion and now you all are thorough with it. In this lecture we will solve the numericals related to equations of motion, and then we will move to the last topic of our chapter, that is uniform circular motion, and we will solve the sums related to it. First of all, let us recall the three equations of motion which we studied in last lecture. First, V is equal to U plus AT. Second, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Third, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Now students, you very well know what is V, U, A, T and S over here. What is V? It is final velocity. U, initial velocity. T, time. S, distance. And A, acceleration. This first equation is called velocity time relation, second one position time relation, and third one velocity position relation, right? So let us study now numericals related to these equations. A stationary train when starts motion acquires velocity of 72 km per hour in 5 minutes. Motion of a train is uniformly accelerated motion. First, calculate acceleration of train in 5 minutes. Second, calculate distance traveled by the train in 5 minutes. So, first of all, we will write the given part. Now, here you can see that a stationary train. Stationary word represents that initially the body is at rest. So, here initial velocity u is equal to 0. See students, you have to keep in mind whenever it comes in the question stationary or a body at rest, it means that u is equal to 0, and whenever it comes that body comes to rest or body stops, final velocity v will be equal to 0. Now here v is equal to 72 km per hour, so 72 into 5 by 18 will be 20 meter per second. Now time is given in minutes, so we have to convert it into seconds. So 5 minutes is equal to 5 into 60, that is equal to 300 seconds. Now acceleration of the train, you know the formula for acceleration, right? It is A is equal to V minus U upon T, that is 20 minus 0 upon 300, that is equal to 1 by 15 meter per second square. This is our first answer. Now let us calculate the distance travelled by the train. For calculating the distance travelled, we have to use the equation of motion. Now, from the three equations of motion, you have to decide which equation you can use here. Now, here we want to calculate distance. For calculating distance, we have two equations. S is equal to ut plus half at square, or v square minus u square is equal to 2as. We can't use v is equal to u plus at because there is no s in this equation. So, here you can use second equation or third equation. Answer will be same for both the equations. Here they have calculated by using both the equations. You can use either of it. First of all, S is equal to ut plus half at square. U is 0, t is 300, a is 1 by 15. So, 0 into 300 plus half into 1 by 15 into 300 whole square, that is equal to 3000 meter, which can be written as 3 kilometer. Now, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So, taking s as subject, we will get s is equal to v square minus u square upon 2a, that is 20 whole square minus 0 square upon 2 into 1 by 15. That is equal to 400 upon 2 by 15, which can be written as 400 into 15 by 2, that is 3000 meter, which is equal to 3 kilometer. So, the distance travelled by the train is 3 kilometer. Next question. A scooterist in moving with speed at 36 kilometer per hour sees an obstacle 35 meter away from him. When brakes are applied, retardation of 2 meter per second square is produced. Would he be able to avoid the accident? So, here a scooterist was moving with a speed of 36 km per hour and he is seeing the obstacle which is 35 meter away. So, he applies the brake and retardation is produced, which is 2 meter per second square. Now, we want to know whether the accident would be avoided or not. So, if he is stopping before 35 meter, then accident would be avoided. But if the distance travelled by him after application of the brakes is more than 35 meter, he can't avoid the accident. So here what we need to find? We need to find the distance travelled after application of the brakes. So here given part is u, initial velocity, is equal to 36 km per hour, that is equal to 36 into 5 by 18 is equal to 10 meter per second. Now students, here what is given? Brakes are applied and the vehicle is coming to rest. So what will be 0? Final velocity v will be equal to 0 and acceleration a will be equal to minus 2 meter per second square. Why minus 2 meter per second square? Because it is retardation and we know that retardation is negative acceleration. So a is equal to minus 2 meter per second square and we have to find distance s. So we have to use any of the equations of motion which is applicable to the things given here. Here we want to calculate distance s. So there are two equations for s, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square or v square minus u square is equal to 2as. But we can't use s is equal to ut plus half at square. Why? Because here time is not given. So which equation we have to use? We have to use v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So s is equal to v square minus u square upon 2a, that is equal to 0 square minus 10 square upon 2 into minus 2, that is equal to 0 minus 100 upon minus 4. Minus 100 upon minus 4 is 100 by 4, that is equal to 25 meter. So the scooter will stop after covering 25 meter when brakes are applied and obstacle is 35 meter away. So accident will be avoided. Students, now we will see the questions of your textbook. Example 8.6. A car accelerates uniformly from 18 km per hour to 36 km per hour in 5 seconds. Calculate the acceleration and the distance covered by the car in that time. So what is given? U is equal to 18 km per hour, that is 18 into 5 by 18 which is equal to 5 meter per second, and V is equal to 36 km per hour, that is 36 into 5 by 18 which is equal to 10 meter per second, and T is equal to 5 second. Now we need to calculate acceleration. So we can simply use the formula for acceleration. A is equal to V minus U upon T, that is equal to 10 minus 5 by 5, that is equal to 1 meter per second square. See students, whenever you are writing the answer, you have to write the unit. If you are just writing A is equal to 1, the marks will be deducted. Unit is very important. Now students, for calculating distance S, you can use either of the formula, that is S is equal to ut plus half at square or V square minus U square is equal to 2as, because you are having U, V, T and A. So here they have taken S is equal to ut plus half at square, that is 5 into 5 plus half into 1 into 5 whole square, that is 25 meter plus 12.5 meter, that is 37.5 meter. If you are using the formula V square minus U square is equal to 2as, then also you will get the answer as 37.5 meter. So the acceleration of the car is 1 meter per second square and distance travelled is 37.5 meter. Next example, example 8.7. The brakes are applied to a car, produce an acceleration of 6 meter per second square in opposite direction in motion. If car takes 2 seconds to stop after the application of the brakes, calculate the distance it travels along this time. Now students, here what is given? Brakes are applied to a car and acceleration of 6 meter per second square is produced in opposite direction. They have not directly given that retardation is 6 meter per second square, but they have mentioned here that acceleration is produced in opposite direction, which means that it is retardation. So A is equal to minus 6 meter per second square time T is equal to 2 seconds, and you know that when the object is stopping after application of the brakes, final velocity V is equal to 0. So now first of all we will calculate U. Why we require U? Because we need to calculate distance, and both the formulas for distance need U. So first of all we will calculate U. So V is equal to U plus AT, that is 0 is equal to U plus minus 6 into 2, that is 0 is equal to u minus 12. So, u is equal to 12 meter per second, which is initial velocity. Now, you can use either of the formula, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square, or s is equal to v square minus u square upon 2a. Here they have used s is equal to ut plus half at square, that is 12 into 2 plus half into minus 6 into 2 square, that is 24 minus 12, which is equal to 12 meter. So, distance travelled by the car is 12 meter. Next question, question 7 of your textbook. A ball is centrally dropped from a height of 20 meter. If its velocity increases uniformly at a rate of 10 meter per second square, with what velocity will it strike the ground? After what time will it strike the ground? Now here, initially when the ball was not dropped, its initial velocity was 0. So here u is equal to 0, and then it is covering a height of 20 meter and reaching the ground. So, the distance covered is 20 meter and at a rate of 10 meter per second square. Here meter per second square is there. So, what is given? Acceleration. So, a is equal to 10 meter per second square. We are asked to find the time taken to strike the ground and velocity with which it will strike the ground. Here we need to calculate time. Now there are two equations relating time, that is v is equal to u plus at and s is equal to ut plus half at square. Here we need to calculate v and t both. So first of all we will use the equation s is equal to ut plus half at square and we will obtain time t, and using this time t we will obtain velocity v. So s is equal to ut plus half at square, that is 20 is equal to 0 into t plus half into 10 into t square. That 0 into t is 0. So 20 is equal to half into 10 into t square. So t square is equal to 20 into 2 by 10, that is equal to 4. So t is equal to 2 second. Now for calculating velocity v, we can use first equation of motion, that is v is equal to u plus at, that is equal to 0 plus 10 into 2, that is equal to 20 meter per second. So velocity is 20 meter per second and time is 2 second. Now question number 20. A stone is thrown in vertically upward direction, means it is thrown from down to up with a velocity of 5 meter per second. If acceleration of the stone during its motion is 10 meter per second square in the downward direction, what will be the height attained by this stone and how much time it will take to reach there? So students, when you will throw a stone in upward direction, it will come down, right, after attaining a particular height. So here we need to calculate that at how much height it will go, and it is given that when it is falling down, its acceleration is 10 meter per second square. And when you are throwing a stone upward, when it reaches to maximum height, it will stop there for a bit of second and then it will come down. So its final velocity will be 0. So here u is equal to 5 meter per second, v is equal to 0, a is equal to minus 10 meter per second square. Why minus 10 meter per second square? Because acceleration is in opposite direction. When an object is coming down, acceleration is positive, and when an object is going up, acceleration is negative. This you have to keep in mind. We are asked to calculate distance and time t. So first of all we will use the equation v is equal to u plus at and will calculate time. So 0 is equal to 5 plus minus 10 into t. So 0 is equal to 5 minus 10t. So 10t is equal to 5, t is equal to 5 by 10, that is 0.5 second. Here t is in decimals, so instead of using s is equal to ut plus half at square, we should use here v square minus u square is equal to 2as, so calculations will be easy. So 0 square minus 5 square is equal to 2 into minus 10 into s, that is minus 25 is equal to minus 20 into s. So s is equal to 25 by 20, that is equal to 1.25 meter. So height attained is 1.25 meter and time is 0.5 second. Now students, we are going to study the last topic of our chapter, that is uniform circular motion. If a body performs motion with constant speed along a circular path, then its motion is called uniform circular motion. So, if a body is moving with a constant speed in a circular path, it is said to be in uniform circular motion. But here you have to keep in mind that when body is performing uniform circular motion, its speed will be constant, that is magnitude of velocity. You know that speed is magnitude of velocity. So, magnitude of velocity is constant, but direction of velocity is not constant. So, here in such type of motion, speed will be constant, but direction will be changing. And if you want to know the direction of velocity at any particular point, you can know it by drawing a tangent at that particular point. So, first of all, what is a tangent? A tangent is a line that intersects the circle at one point. So, at which point you want to find the velocity, you should draw a tangent and you will get the direction of velocity. Let us see how it is done. Suppose that a body is performing uniform circular motion along this path starting from A and coming back to A, and A, B, C, D, E are the points at which we need to find the direction of velocity. So, a tangent has to be drawn at all these points. Here you can see that when a tangent is drawn at point A, the direction of velocity is mentioned here as V1. Now, when you will draw the tangent at point B, you can see that the direction of velocity is changing and it is mentioned over here as V2. Similarly, by drawing the tangents at C, D and E, it can clearly be seen that the direction of velocity is different at all these different points. But you have to keep in mind that here the speed will be same along this motion from A, B, C, D and E, but the direction is only changing. Now, let us obtain the formula for velocity of a body performing uniform circular motion. If a body completes one revolution along a circular path in time t, its speed can be obtained as below. We know that formula for speed is distance travelled by time taken. It is completing one revolution. So, it will be the length of the circular path upon time, and we know that length of circular path is called the circumference. So, speed is equal to circumference upon time, and formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So, V is equal to 2 pi r by t, which is the formula for speed of a body performing uniform circular motion. Now students, here you have to remember that here magnitude of velocity is remaining constant, that is speed is remaining constant, but direction of velocity is changing. So, if speed is changing or direction is changing or both are changing, then what is produced? Acceleration is produced. Here speed is constant, but direction of velocity is changing. So, the body performing uniform circular motion is in accelerated motion. So, uniform circular motion is accelerated motion because here direction of velocity is changing, which produces acceleration. A stone moving along a circular path with constant speed as shown in figure is an example of uniform circular motion. Now, let us see the numerical of your exercise related to uniform circular motion. An artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit of radius 42,250 km. Calculate its speed if it takes 24 hours to revolve around the earth. So, what is the radius of the orbit? 42,250 kilometer, that is equal to 42,250 into 1000 meter, because 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter, and time taken is 24 hour, that is equal to 24 into 60 into 60 second. Now, speed is equal to distance upon time, that is formula for speed is V is equal to 2 pi r by t, that is 2 into 22 by 7, which is the value of pi. R is equal to 42,250 into 1000, and t is equal to 24 into 60 into 60, that is equal to 3073.74 meter per second, which is the speed of the artificial satellite. So, students, with this we conclude our chapter. Write the notes properly and solve the numericals properly.